I'm asking you to bear with me, so thank you. My time with you is going to pan out like this. I will be taking the first parts of the presentation, that's introducing carbon footprints, explaining carbon neutrality, and presenting some of the strategies we have for the University of Sheffield. While my fellow classmates and teammates, she's over there, say hi. She will be taking the latter parts. She will be explaining the other strategies we have, focusing in particular on Scope 3 emissions, conclusion, and we will take any questions our judges have for us. So carbon footprints. What is carbon footprints? My fellow debaters have gone over this again and again, which is perfectly fine, because it's a never-ending conversation. We can't ever stress this issue enough because of the global impact it has on us. So before I give my definition of what carbon footprints is, can I ask you all a question? Have you ever, maybe in your quiet moments or private time, looked back through history and thought to yourselves, wow, humanity is remarkable? Because I have. You know, when we compare where we are now to where we started from, we have come so far. But what did this rapid development cost us? Like one of the very pretty students from EIS has said, global climate change has left our Earth a shadow of how it was before. Over the years, we have incurred an increase in global temperature, harm on our marine lives, privation of vector-borne diseases, and an increase in conflict over resources. All of these occurred due to our collective disregard over the number of emissions we continuously release into our surroundings, which is our carbon footprints, the measurement of greenhouse gases we emit into our environment as a direct result of our human activities. These emissions are categorized into three. Those are Scope 1 emissions, Scope 2 emissions, and Scope 3 emissions. Scope 1 emissions are the direct emissions generated from a result of everyday activities, let's say driving a car for instance. Scope 2 emissions come across when you make use of energy or utility resources, while Scope 3 emissions are a bit more complex, but simply put, they are third-party emissions indirectly generated from sources we have the control, sources organizations and individuals have the control over. You can see in this brief illustrations that I have put together for you here how every little action we do, what we take, and how we choose to carry out those actions produces some level of greenhouse gases. That is why it is very important to check ourselves continuously to ensure we are doing the best for our home, our planet Earth, which is what the University of Sheffield is doing, which is a very commendable action. So if you could please humor me and just give them a round of applause just because to recognize this activity and initiate that if the rest of the world should take, the world will become a much safer and healthier environment. To achieve this, the University of Sheffield put together a sustainability action plan for the foreseeable future. They did this in order to reduce their carbon footprints and achieve a net zero, or what can be termed as carbon neutrality. To define this, carbon neutrality is balancing the carbon emissions we produce with the carbon emissions we remove from the environment, right? That is carbon neutrality. You can achieve this in various ways. Most easy way, or the easiest way rather, of achieving carbon neutrality for us as students and individuals is planting trees or promoting clean sources of energy in our environment, in our schools, and in our surroundings. Some of the strategies that we've put together for the University of Sheffield is centered around their food and waste management. We put ourselves in the roles of students at the University of Sheffield and considered how best we could help them achieve their goal of achieving a net carbon footprint. As I've said, it's centered around food and waste management, and I will be taking you on the waste management strategies we hope the University of Sheffield can adopt or expand on in their goals. When it comes to waste, I have some not so fun facts for you. First of all, did you know that about 2/5 of the world's global food consumption is wasted each year. That's 40% of global food produced for consumption, with the UK alone trashing 9.52 million tons of food each year. That's how many? Like 140 Alberta houses in the UK. So have that image filled with food, unused, unconsumed, simply wasted. It's a saddening image, especially when you consider all the people in the world who have left without food. It just drives this fact home further. To counter this, the University of Sheffield has already made major strides to reducing their food waste